We are joined by very special guest, Laurie Hernandez. Thank you so much for joining us. You automatically just put me in a fantastic mood because you walked in
I knew this was going to be the way.
bubbly as
like
hell,
Friday.
and I'm like,
Yeah.
you know what? It's Friday mood. We got that Friday energy going.
Friday mood is a big mood.
Yeah. So
Right?
what we do on we release our podcast on Monday, and we always say that we bring people the Friday energy because we record it on Fridays. And right now we're bringing
it
the
totally
Friday
is.
energy.
Also, is it you that smells amazing? I don't.
That would be great.
I think it. Do you like? Smells fantastic in here. Normally, this studio, not that it ever smells bad, but welcome. You smell amazing.
We're just like bombarding you with compliments right when you walk in.
It's just the way to. It's just the way to go.
Yeah. So you have a ton going on for you right now, which is very, very exciting. I don't even know where to start because
I know. Seriously, do you ever have any downtime?
Sometimes.
Yeah, because now you did announce that you are training again for the 2020 Olympics.
Yes.
Very exciting.
Thank you.
What does your day-to-day look like with training? But because you're also now doing this, you're doing American Ninja Warrior Junior.
Yeah.
You had your children's book come out. It's just so much stuff.
I mean, I've definitely been a pretty busy bee lately,
Yeah.
but I'm blessed to be busy, so that's great. But yeah, going back into training, it's definitely a really big deal for me. And about next year, probably, a little before the summer is when it's really going to get serious, and
Right.
the hours are going to add up and whatnot.
Where are the 2020 Olympics?
Tokyo.
Tokyo.
Yeah.
That's cool.
that's very,
That
very
is
cool.
very, very cool.
I've been seeing so many people go to Tokyo lately, haven't you?
Yeah.
I feel like we talked about this recently.
It's kind of
I've
been like
gotten
a
to compete
celebrity
there.
hotspot these days. And
It is.
It's like people love going to Tokyo. So wow, that'll be amazing.
Yeah,
So
it's going
fun.
to be a good one.
Imagine just being able to go to you're just in the Olympics, like Laurie. But all joking aside, what is it like now since you decide that you're going to be doing it? How did that decision come for you?
I mean, I had a great experience in 2016, and I had some pretty awesome teammates, and then we did dancing, we did tours and books, and all these different events were really happening, and so gymnastics was put on hold, and traveling and meeting new people was really what I was doing in the moment. And this year I just realized that I really missed it, and I love the sport for what it is, and I missed moving. And I remember talking to my parents and kind of like my inner circle about it, and they were like, well, you're still really young for a gymnast. Right. And they were like, if there's 2 years if you want to try. I mean, go start now, but if you want to try, go ahead and try it. You'll never know unless you try it. So we're doing it.
Awesome.
is
That's
amazing.
super exciting. How did you get into, let's go start from the beginning. How did you get into gymnastics in the first place?
Yeah, so I started gymnastics around 5. I was at home one day watching TV, and I saw 2 gymnasts on the balance beam, and I didn't realize that was a thing. It had never come to my attention that gymnastics was a really big sport. And I remember watching the TV and looking at my mom and saying, Mom, I want to be just like them. And she was like, okay. And she put me in, and that was how we started. So
That's awesome. And I feel like you did just write a children's book. So, and it's called She's Got This, and all about a little girl who falls off the balance beam. Did you take maybe a little real life experience to write that book?
The book is loosely based on my experiences, but the main character, her name is Zoe, which is my middle name.
Oh, cute.
Thanks, Mama.
Yeah.
She starts gymnastics, she falls and hurts her knees, and she decides that she wants to quit and never do it again. And her parents are like, "Wait a minute, hold on, don't make that decision. Let's try again." And both of your siblings have done something big in their sport and where they wanted to quit, but they kept moving forward. So why don't you try it? And they push her in the right direction rather than just allowing her to make that decision so quick. So, yeah, that's pretty much my story.
Did you ever have times when you were like, Mom, Dad, I'm quitting. I am done with this.
Yeah, I mean, there were a lot of times where that happened, and I mean, it was surprising that I would still stay in it, but when you look back, you realize it was just because you were going through a rough time. And my mom had a checklist. She knows like my patterns. So if it's meet season and I say I want to quit, it's because I'm stressed. If I come home randomly one day and say I want to quit, it's probably because I haven't eaten in a couple hours.
Angry. Yep.
Yeah. If it's late at night and randomly I'm like I want to quit gymnastics, she's like, okay, it's because you're tired and hungry, which is like she really wants
a lethal combination.
So like she knows my patterns, and unless we have never been able to check like all four. There's always been something that has factored into me wanting to quit, and she was like, okay, well, we're not going to make this decision right now.
Right. Now there's many different events that make up the event at the Olympics. What do you think is your favorite, and what do you think is the hardest one? Because there's floor, vault.
My favorite is floor because I get pretty nervous before I go, but then once I'm out there, I'm excited to be there, and I'm definitely a big crowd pleaser, and I love to dance, and when the energy is high, then that makes me tumble better, so that's exciting. My least favorite is the uneven bars, just because.
They're scary. Those things are, from two non-gymnasts, those things look scary.
To two non-gymnasts, how do you explain the uneven bars?
So the uneven bars, you're hanging on to, it's equipment. There's the two bars, and they're bolted into the floor, and you're hanging onto this event by your hands only. Yeah. And the goal is to let go and catch it in 10 different places. Not exactly 10, but in so many different places. Your job is to spin over it, to land on one bar and catch the other, and all these different things. And I just don't like that.
I think that's the event the most where when I'm watching, I'm just like biting my nails because you're swinging from one bar to the next, and it's like, how do you do this? It's incredible.
So that one's really hard coming back to, because I'm like.
And then how did you get involved with American Ninja Warrior?
So I was approached by American Ninja Warrior if I wanted to be the sideline host or the co-host, and I said yes, just because American Ninja Warrior is amazing. So to be a part of American Ninja Warrior Junior, that is something else. And these kids, the ages range from 9 to 14, and I mean, they're fierce. Like, they just run through this course so fast, and it's like my jaw drops when I'm watching them.
How hard is it? Because I did watch the video of you doing it, and you crushed it.
It's really hard.
Really, like towards the end, I was like, she looks kind of out of breath, maybe. Like, you watch on TV and you say to yourself, I feel like I could probably do that, and then you watch.
That's what happened.
So hard.
That's what happened. Where I was like, I could probably do this, and then as soon as you're up there, you're like, wait a minute,
I have to do this now.
I'm like, they're watching. I'm being taped. I have my mom's shoes on, so I don't want to fall in the water. Like, this, and then, I mean, once you do the course, you realize how much courage these kids have. But also, they seem fearless when they're doing it. They're just sprinting through the course, trying to make it as fast as they can through the end. So I'm like, what?
I feel like it's almost a show that's so great for kids, because kids are fearless, so they'll see that and be like, hell yeah, they'll just go right at it and do it, which I think adults get way more nervous and scared, because those competitions are insane. And gymnasts have done very well in the show historically. Like, gymnasts do very well at American Ninja Warrior.
There are a handful of gymnasts in American Ninja Warrior Junior. There's gymnasts, rock climbers, and then there are the kids who like actually train to be junior ninjas, which is pretty cool. So
that is very cool. So besides gymnastics, is being like a TV host and personality something that's a big interest to you?
I mean, it's something that I'm very proud and honored to do, especially for American Ninja Warrior Junior. I would love to be an actress as well, so I'm definitely looking forward to that, especially after my gymnastics career. But I mean, I wouldn't rule it out.
You can do it all.
Yes, why not?
Oh, I thought
you were about to talk. That's why I looked at you.
Unfortunately, this room is not set up in the best way where I can look at Laurie and look at Rhea.
Yeah, no,
if I look at Laurie, I don't look at Rhea. So sorry about that.
And I get to look at both of you.
Right, exactly. I'm a big fan of Dancing with the Stars. Huge. I've loved it. Val, I've gotten to interview Val before, and it was a highlight. Not gonna lie, you unfortunately missed that interview.
I was sick that day,
which is sad because he is just such a doll. And
sweetheart.
Do you guys stay close?
We try to. I mean, he is busy. I'm busy, so like we're trying to keep in touch. But yeah, I mean, especially throughout the show, he was like a big brother figure to me, and my parents were like, our fourth child, come on in, welcome to our home. So my mom basically took him in as like her own son. But yeah, he was a sweetheart, and he was very patient with me, which was necessary for the show.
Do you think your gymnastics helped you dancing?
Not really.
No,
just because I'm not a dancer. I'm a gymnast, you know, and where the goal is to make sure that you're hitting all the rules necessary for gymnastics and that you go with the music. That's really all it is. And it's making sure that you can hit basically the requirements that you need while doing it with good artistry. And so going into ballroom, that's a completely different setting that I'm not used to. And I remember thinking, like, a lot of people were asking, hey, you're a gymnast, this is easy for you. And I was like, I'm not a ballroom dancer.
Yeah.
Like, I work out barefoot. I don't know how to walk in heels. So it was a big change.
Yeah, I feel like that's just whenever I watch Dancing with the Stars and I see someone that's like athletic or whatnot, I'm like, oh, okay, they could dance, clearly. And then you watch and you're like, all right, maybe it's a little harder than I thought it was in the first place.
It's very technical. I think that's why. Like, when you first watch, you're like, oh, they're just stepping. They're just walking with a partner. But once you start doing it, you realize, like, oh, my foot has to go here and it has to point and angle this way while my chin looks up that way. And it's just,
so many different things that you don't even think of.
Yeah,
like, I talk about it all the time. I'm like, yeah, I could go on Dancing with the Stars. Never. I would embarrass myself immediately, right away.
Yeah, I look. I would try my darndest, but I feel like it would be
all I got, but I don't know.
A week 1 elimination.
Like, it's one of those things where I feel like I would do it and afterwards be like, I fucking nailed that, and then watch it back and like, yikes.
Yeah,
yikes.
It just happens.
That's just my dancing in general.
Hey, that happens in gymnastics for all of us too. You'll be like, you totally nailed that, and you watch a video back and you realize like how bad that skill was, and you got to try it again. Your coach is like, I told you so. So, yeah.
What is the training like for gymnastics just daily? Like, what is the eating consists of? Because I feel like that's pretty strict. No,
I mean, everybody has their own regimen of how they do things. For me, it's just eating clean. It's eating the right portions and eating clean. There's no like diet that I follow. It's making sure that I'm getting enough proteins and I'm getting enough carbs. And if I feel that I'm dehydrated, I need to drink more water. If I feel that I'm really hungry, then I need more protein. Like, it's just making sure that I'm giving my body what I feel it really needs. And especially for the Olympics, it's just making sure that, again, you're eating clean and it's what's good for you and it's fuel for your body. So that's the most important thing. I don't personally know anybody who diets beforehand, but I don't like dieting, so I also don't like running, but like, it's my sport, so
has to be done at some point.
It's very true. But so obviously 2020, what is like the environment? I'm always so curious what the environment is like in like the Olympic Village. Do you get to interact with other athletes from other countries? You get to meet new people, or do you kind of spend most of your time with yourself and your teammates?
Most of the time, or at least for Rio, for the final 5, it was like a lot of time together, just us 5 and our coaches and our trainers and whatnot. But some of my favorite moments were actually in the cafeteria. One, being the food, and then 2, the main reason would be that gymnasts don't train where track runners train, swimmers don't train where tennis players train. Like, we all need our own space, and we don't see each other when we're training. So the cafeteria is where you meet all the athletes. I got to meet Michael Phelps and Usain Bolt and all these different people, and that was really exciting for me.
That's awesome. Is there any like rivalry with the countries in person? Like,
I mean, not really. I mean,
because when you
in gymnastics, what are you thinking of? Like in gymnastics?
Yeah, I'm just thinking like
like in gymnastics,
like when they're like walking past each other.
I knew you were going to say that. I was like, you're definitely thinking of Stick It right now.
I mean, obviously you watch these movies and you know that they're really fabricated, but you never know.
I think the right word for it is very competitive. It's not that there's like a side eye that anybody's looking at each other like trying to rip each other's grips when they're not looking. Like, it's not like that. Everybody just wants to be the best, so they work hard to be the best. And when that doesn't happen, it's disappointing. Respectfully so. Like, it's disappointing.
Exactly.
So it's making sure that we're giving everybody their kudos, but also doing the best that we can and giving ourselves some kudos as well.
Yes, I feel that. I feel I mean, I'm sorry to do the example of Stick It, but it's like that's what you like.
We stand the other countries.
Right. Exactly. Like, you think that everything is just rivalry and but it's really just competitiveness that gets mistaken for like.
Yeah, and a lot of times we're like doing competition, especially international competitions before you get to the Olympics. You end up meeting a lot of the girls through those competitions and then seeing them at the Olympics. You end up becoming friends with them. You get their Snapchats and you talk internationally. And
that's kind of cool because you see them when you're younger, and it's nice to see like you achieved the goals that you wanted to achieve, and I've achieved the goals that I wanted to achieve, which is cool. So I mean, the whole
And now we're all here. It's like that kind of thing.
Right, exactly.
Yes.
Yeah. Unity, Olympics.
What do you do to kind of calm your nerves before big meets and especially the Olympics?
So for me, it's making sure that I'm doing a lot of like breathing before I go, because I notice whenever I get nervous, I'll either hold my breath or I'll breathe really fast and I get really tense. So it's just reminding myself to breathe pretty slow. But a lot of people really like the adrenaline before they compete. They're like, yes, I love this. Like, I live off the adrenaline. I'm quite the opposite. I don't like feeling nervous before I compete, but once I'm up on the equipment, I'm fine. And that's kind of my job. That's what I train to do. I love being up there. But the right before, it's making sure that I can calm myself down and take a deep breath before I go.
Do you have like a bedtime to make sure that you're in bed at a certain time?
I mean, I try to go to bed as early as possible, but also, like, I try not to take away any daily routines that I have. So if I'm going to bed at like 10:30, 11 naturally, then that's the time I'll go to bed. But
what happens with school with you?
I homeschool. Well, I just graduated high school this year.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you.
That's insane.
That's huge.
It feels so
Yeah, that's huge.
But yeah, I started homeschooling in the 3rd grade.
Okay.
And it's really funny because I remember telling my school or my classmates, like, hey, you know, I'm gonna go homeschool. I'm not sure when I'm coming back. And they're like, okay, well, hopefully we'll see you soon.
Yeah,
and I'm like, I never came back.
never saw them again.
They're like, what in the world?
And then they're watching the Olympics and they're like, oh, that's the girl that disappeared in 3rd grade.
That makes sense. I think I went to 2nd grade with her.
That's the girl that when we had photo day for our school, she came in with a leotard. That's the girl.
Yeah, it all gets put together.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome, though. Congrats on everything that you have accomplished.
Thank you.
It's insane. And thank you for coming on the show.
Yeah, and make sure you guys, if you're listening, American Ninja Warrior Junior premieres tomorrow.
Woohoo!
Huge, and it's tomorrow at 7 p.m. on Universal Kids. Also, she's an author. She wrote a children's book. She's Got This is the name of that book. So it's available everywhere. You can online.
Available everywhere.
Yeah, so you
check it out.
You want to get that too. Thank you so much, Laurie. Good luck with everything.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming in.
Thank you for having me.